Good day everyone. By the way, I'm Jamalia Idris. So now I will be discussing the chapter 2 mandates on gender mainstreaming. The lesson 1 international mandates. So ano nga ba yung international mandates? So, ito ay human rights o mga karapatan ng tao na hindi maaring kunin o alisin sa isang tao dahil ito ay likas na sa pagiging tao. Since human rights apply to everyone, this means the rights of women and girls are also a natural and important part of human rights worldwide. Kaya mahalaga na maintindihan natin ang human rights and the international mandates because it's very important to promote fairness between genders and empower women and girls. So this lesson will teach you about how important international mandates or agreements that form the basis of women's and girls' rights. So example, knowing their rights. So, how do we define human rights? So, what is your understanding about human rights? So, human right, imagine ikaw isang tao, mapa babae man or lalaki or bata or kahit sino ka man dahil nga tao ka, may karapatan kang natural na ito ay nakakabit sa iyo. So, that's we call human rights. So, human is a noun, a member of the Homo sapiens, a man, woman, or child, a person. Ibig sabihin, a member of pure human species na Homo sapiens. So, human from the word itself, human, isang tao. So, next is rights. It also a noun, thanks to which you are entitled or allow freedoms that are warrant. So, rights, ito yung mga bagay or kalayaan na dapat natin matanggap or ma-enjoy. So, next, human rights. It also a noun. So, ito yung mga karapatan mo bilang isang tao. Kasi from the word itself, human rights, ito yung mga karapatan natin bilang isang tao. Pero minsan, kapag tinatanong mo ang mga tao kung ano ang human rights, iba-iba yung sagot nila. May iba na nabanggit lang yung mga basic rights tulad ng right to speech or paniniwala. Pero ang human rights ay mas malawak pa sa inaakala natin. Hindi lang ito simpleng bagay. So, sino ba ang may human rights? So, the answer is lahat tayo because from the definition of human rights are rights inherent to all human beings, whatever our nationality, place of residence, sex, national or ethnic origin, color, religion, language, or any other status. So, what are the different human rights? So, ano yung mga batas na mga international and national policies na sinisigurado or kinakover at pinoproteksyonan yung ating karapatan when it comes to ating gender expression, sa ating sexual orientation, sa ating kalayaan na i-identify yung sarili natin based sa gender na gusto natin. So, first is Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women or CEDAW na naisabatas noong December 18, 1979 na tinatawag din itong International Bill of Rights of Women dahil ang treaty na ito ay dinidefine what constitutes discrimination against women, set up an agenda for national action to end child discrimination and exploitation. So sa convention na ito or sa treaty na ito ay naisa-isa kung ano ba ang pwedeng i-categorize or i-classify as discrimination or acts discriminating against women. At sinitap din ito yung mga action na pwedeng gawin para maitigil na or mawakasan yung discrimination or pang-aabuso sa atin as a women's. So next is Universal Declaration of Human Rights on December 10, 1948, provides a common understanding of human rights and fundamental freedom covered by the UN Charter. So, ibig sabihin na na-recognize ito sa lahat ng UN member country na sinisigurado na ang lahat ng tao ay may karapatan. At isa sa mga karapatan na ito is yung freedom natin to express or identify ourselves and of course to ensure na tayo ay nabibigyan ng protection when it comes sa ating basic human rights. It also provides a common standard of achievement for all the people and nations around the world. And it also provides a comprehensive list of human rights and freedom to be protected. Isa na nga dyan yung ating karapatan na i-identify yung ating sarili. And then, of course, yung protection ng ating sarili na binibigay ng gobyerno. Next, most universal human rights documents in existence delineating the 30 fundamental rights that form the basis for a democratic society. So, ito yung mga 30 basic human rights or the 30 fundamental rights that form the basis for a democratic society or summary of 30 fundamental rights. So, as you can see in the picture, example, kasama dyan yung we are all born free and equal, which is Article 1, right to equality. And then, to ensure na tayo ay di tayo na-discriminate, we have Article 2, freedom from discrimination. And then, meron tayong karapatan sa buhay. Meron tayong karapatan sa iba't ibang bagay. That's Article 3, right to life, liberty, personal security. At di rin tayo inaalipin, di rin tayo tinutorture or tinitreat ng hindi makatarungang tao. So, dapat may karapatan tayo sa equal access sa iba't ibang mga bagay. Example, sa education, merong batas which is right to education, Article 26. May karapatan tayo sa, meron din tayong karapatan sa privacy. So, may karapatan tayong maikasal, magkaroon ng pamilya, magkaroon ng ari-arian, magkaroon ng desenteng trabaho, makapagpahinga at iba pa. So, kung makikita natin dito, yung pagpupromote ng gender and development ay mas binibigyan natin diin doon sa mga karapatan na may kinalaman sa pagiging malaya, pagiging equal. Di tayo na-discriminate at yung karapatan natin sa education at sa iba pang karapatan na basic rights na dapat natin i-enjoy na dapat na ito ay binibigay sa atin. So next, what are the basic principles of human rights? So these followings are the basic principle of human rights. So first is universality. So from the word universality, for all means human rights belong to everyone. Lahat ng tao kahit saan man, they have rights because they are human. So all people are equal. Next is indivisibility. So hindi pwede hatiin. From the word indivisibility means that all these rights are connected and equally important. Kaya dapat lahat ay respected para masiguradong okay ang buhay ng bawat isa. For example, if health rights are ignored, it can harm the right to life. The next is participation. Means bawat tao ay may karapatan na magdesisyon or marinig yung kanilang boses na hindi lang basta ang gobyerno lang ang may control. Next is accountability. means governments must have ways to be responsible and punish if they fail to protect human rights. So next is transparency. Means governments should be clear at bukas ang gobyerno sa mga information at paano nila ginagawa ang mga desisyon tungkol sa human rights. So, from the word transparency, dapat yung mga tao alam nila kung ano nangyayari sa loob ng pamahalaan. Last one is non-discrimination. Ibig sabihin, di pwedeng pabago-bago o pili-pili lang yung nabibigyan ng karapatan. Dapat, everyone has the same rights without unfair treatment or bias, whether because of race, gender, religion, or any other difference. So, that's the basic principle of human rights. So next, let's proceed to the different international instruments that embodies the rights of women and girls. So, what is international instrument? So, international instrument is like an official agreement or legal paper that many countries sign na nagsasabi kung paano nila susundin at ipapatupad ang mga batas para mapangalagaan ng bawat mamamayan. For example, tulad ng karapatan para sa kababaihan like CEDAW or the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, which is agreement adopted by the UN on December 18, 1979. So this convention focuses on three key areas. First is civil rights and legal status of women. Dito, tinitiyak dito na may equality rights ang mga babae tulad ng mga lalaki pagdating sa batas at mga legal na process. Example, dapat may karapatan din ang mga babae na bumoto or magmay-ari, 'di ba nung unang panahon pa is walang karapatan yung mga babae na bumoto. Ang mga kalalakihan lang ang may karapatan na bumoto. So ngayon meron ng the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. Ngayon nagkaroon na ng karapatan na bumoto yung mga babae or magmay-ari ng mga ari-arian at makapagtrabaho ng maayos at patas. So next is reproductive rights. Ito naman ay tungkol sa kalusugan ng babae lalo na sa usapin ng pagpapamilya at panganganak. Kasi from the word reproductive. So tulad ng pagkakaroon ng access sa medical services at family plan. And then pangatlo is cultural factors influencing gender relations. So, dito naman ay tinitingnan kung paano yung culture at tradition, kung paano nakakaapekto sa relasyon ng lalaki at babae. Para mawala yung belief o gawin na nagdudulot ng hindi patas na pagtrato sa mga kababaihan. So, next is, what is discrimination? So, discrimination from the word itself, ito yung hindi magandang pagtrato sa isang tao dahil sa iba't ibang dahilan tulad ng kasarian ng isang tao, babae or lalaki, sa lahi, sa religion, kakayahan o iba pa. So, we have two types of discrimination against women and girls. So, first is direct discrimination. Ito yung sobrang clear na unfair ang pagtrato sa mga babae, gawa ng batas o kulturang nagpapahirap sa kanila. And then the indirect discrimination. Ito naman is patas ito pero sa actual ay nagreresulta na mas mapag-iiwanan ang mga babae dahil sa mga pangyayari o patakaran na hindi na naman direktang sinasabing laban sa kanila pero meron meron pa rin itong epekto sa kanila. So, for example, if a police job needs a certain height or weight that many women can't meet. So, that's all my part. Thank you for listening.